Welcome to the Friday night recap show for the playoffs. Mark Rogers, Adam Dieselhorse with you. We will be here throughout the evening to keep you up to date with what's going on in the high school football playoffs. Working on having a few finals coming up here for you shortly, but we can check in on some games. We'll also visit with coaches and members of the media who are out across the state covering games tonight. What up, Adam? How's it going?
What's up, Marcus? A little different viewpoint for us tonight. Normal Friday night, so getting to hang out in our living room, not have to worry about any power going out or traveling to any other destinations to conclude games. So happy to be here.
We got some pretty good games going on. There are a couple that are pretty close in Class 6A Division I. We've got UConn out in front of Deer Creek 24-0, but the rest of the games are within 2 touchdowns. Norman putting up a fight at Union down 42-28. Mustang and Norman North, the Broncos lead at 28-17, and Edmond has just scored a touchdown to go up on Edmond North 14-0. So the Huskies in that Edlin battle are playing it pretty close.
Mark, when's the last time UConn won a playoff game?
It's been a few years since they got that done. I like this team. I like that program too. I think that they are really on the move in the positive direction. If you look down at the lower classes, they're getting better and better. So I think that Brett Barnes has got that program really going in the right direction. They will have their work cut out for them next week against Owasso and a rematch of a regular season game. But the last playoff win for UConn was all the way back in 1997. So it's been a long time.
I wondered about that. I've got some good friends, in particular one good friend that has a son. I believe he's on either their 8th grade or freshman team, and I think they won their league. And they're playing Choctaw and a lot of these other schools that have good programs. And so I think you're right. I believe Trent Smith coaches them. So former OU tight end coaches that team. So yeah, moving in the right direction. Going to pick up, looks like, their 6th win of the season. And 6A seems like it's always tight. This Mustang Norman North game just keeps going back and forth. Mustang gets ahead by 2 scores, and then Norman North closes it. Closes the gap. It's it'd be interesting to see if Norman North can put up another score and get a stop. But 28-17 there, like you mentioned. But like you said, always 6A.
I'd say the best bracket we got going right now is Class 5A. We've got some great games going on right now. Bishop Kelly and Pryor 32-29 in the 3rd. Collinsville and McAllister, which we thought would be a very tight game. That was tied up at 14. Claremore is on top of Coweta 28-26. So right now we've got, and just a second ago, 2 of the 4 seeds are right in the middle of it. 1 leads and 1 is trailing by just 3. And then, of course, the game that we thought might be the very best of the opening round of the playoffs, Bishop McGuinness leads Guthrie 35-28 at the Rock.
Does that Newcastle Altus score surprise you any?
It surprises me that Altus didn't score some more points. I thought Newcastle would win, but I didn't know that it would be by 35 points, which is what the margin is right now. So that's a fairly impressive night.
Yeah, and you hit it on the dot with this Bishop Kelly Pryor game. We saw what Pryor did last week. 32-29. That is a tight game. The longer that game gets that way, the tighter that gets. That 2 seed really, that puts a ton of pressure on them. So be interesting to see what happens at the end of that one.
And the Claremore Coweta game, that would be the matchup opposite of the McGuinness and Guthrie game. So that's a pretty impressive portion of the bracket right there.
Claremore also has a fantastic mascot.
The Zebras. You'd think that the Zebras would be black and white, but instead they're red and white.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we check in on the Cash and Minko game?
Yeah, let's do that real quick.
This is pretty cool. I like it. We can pull up our feed and see what's going on there.
Yeah, let me see if I can figure that out. So bragged about that earlier on. So there we go. Looks like Minko just scored again, 24-14.
24-14 at Minko. How much time we have left there?
Looks like we just started the 4th quarter in that one. So that's the Minko Bulldogs crew Superintendent Kevin Sims on the mic tonight calling that game. So obviously we awarded them one of our 2 game of the weeks. They do a fantastic job. We talked about this game. We thought this was going to be a really good game. Cashin, cut the lead. It was 17-7. Cashin cuts the lead 17-14. And the next drive, Minko just drives right down the field and scores a touchdown. So the Cats are going to have to answer here if they can stay in this game.
We got a good one going on in Kiefer tonight between Chandler and Kiefer, 15-12. Chandler is up on the Trojans in that game. Not a lot of other close ones in Class 2A Division I. That's the one where next week I think we're going to see a lot of really, really good matchups there. But the big upsets potentially tonight are in that Class 5A bracket.
Oh, I know. I agree 100%. I'm gonna here in a second going to get us queued up on this Kingfisher Lone Grove game. It's tied up 28-all. I hope the Kingfisher crew has got internet. I know they were struggling earlier on, but that'd be a game we can kind of check out here in a second.
Berry Hill leads Holland Hall. That would be considered an upset. Looks like Mike Snyder is going to fall short of career victory number 400 tonight. Heritage Hall up big on Seminole, 52-6. That game at Heritage Hall. So I know that's important to Coach Snyder, who's in really good health, and so I would suspect that he comes back next season and looks to win number 400.
Golly, I was getting ready to ask what he was at. We made a couple trips over there the last few years. We didn't get to make a trip over there this year, but you want to talk about a cool atmosphere for high school sports. If any of the casual fans are out there and there's a Friday night or a Thursday night that Seminole happens to be playing and your team's not playing or you want to just go see something different, I highly encourage you to go watch a game at Seminole. It's a cool atmosphere.
We got a really good one going down in Southeast Oklahoma, long road trip for Wyandotte traveling to Valiant, and it's the Bears on top of Valiant, the Bulldogs 14-12, and that one in Class 2A Division II.
Here's this game right here, Mark, that we were just mentioning, Kingfisher and Lone Grove. So it's all knotted up at 28-all, and obviously that's the crew with Michael Swisher down there calling. Look at those lines from Lone Grove. You don't see a lot of black paint.
They got the field painted. The numbers are painted. They got the white stripe outline there on the 50-yard line. That is awesome. Well done, Lone Grove.
One thing that always amazes me, obviously the Longhorns is a popular mascot, but I feel like per capita, our state has a large amount of Longhorns, considering that's big, probably one of the biggest rivals to the University of Oklahoma. But I mean, we have a handful of them playing tonight.
Yeah. Jones,
Ellick, Chisholm.
Yeah.
Lone Grove. Which we were talking about that Chisholm game earlier on. Chisholm was battling with Washington for a half. It was, I believe, 19-6 at halftime, but just seeing that Washington's kind of starting to pull away a little bit in that one. So
we don't want to leave out Enola, another Longhorns. That gets us up to 5.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them, which you mentioned. Enola, they're up 31-20 right now on Shoto in 3A. And just kind of glancing across this 3A bracket, you already mentioned Heritage over Seminole. Obviously, Lincoln Christian is just all over Jay. Really not a whole lot of competitive games in this 3A bracket outside of the one we're watching right now. Berry Hill leads Holland Hall. Like you mentioned, that'd be an upset for sure. Holland Hall did just score, so it's 21-14. But Cassia Hall's all over Idabel. And then Perkins all over Plainview, 48. I think Perkins is pretty good.
Yes. They lost to a couple of games in the district that were close. And that would be a big win for them to go on the road over Plainview and get this done. But Kingfisher's really moving the ball well here. They're getting chunk yardage. I would expect that Lone Grove might be able to do a little bit of the same if they can get it back. But there's a good stop for the Longhorns, gain of only about 3.
Trying to look down here in some of our smaller classes. Kind of glance over here at A2 here for a minute.
had one going on, a big game going on in Thomas with Ringling on top a little earlier.
Yeah, it's Thomas has just taken that lead 19-14. Here's a game that would be considered an upset. Southwest Covenant leads Kanawha 28-24 late in the fourth. Fairland, the team you picked against, I have to bring that back up.
Not this week, though. Last week, yes. Not this week, but they're beating Wowoka pretty good. Kanawha is a district champ, so Southwest Covenant would be able to host a game coming up next week if they are able to win.
How about this one? Woodland, defending state champion, is up on Allen 26-25. I wonder if Woodland's live streaming that game. They are a new network school. I talked to Chad Sotai. You remember Chad Sotai from Moore, right?
Sure, yeah.
So Chad is the AD there, and he's kind of who got their Skordle network set up. But I think they were mentioned that they weren't going to have space or issue with internet in the box or something like that. So I don't know if they got their stream out tonight, but that's a heck of a game too. I'll tell you a game that surprises me, because a team that seems to always be such a tough out in the playoffs, Healdton is just hammering Texoma. It kind of surprises me a little bit.
It really was a great bounce back. It's been a long time for Healdton since they've been pretty good, but they've got a good squad this year. They've won a lot of games in that district and really were a big surprise. I don't think we had them rated very high in our preseason ratings this year. So congrats to them on doing a really nice job.
I'll tell you, I just bounced over to B1. Big shout out, just up the road from me. Pawn Creek Hunter gets a W, upsets number 5 Empire, 18-8. So Tanner Bowman, shout out to him. Tom Nelson, he's watching the show, and he shot me a text to let me know that Pawn Creek got the W. Game that's got a little bit of a surprising score is Waurika leads OBA 22-20. So that surprises me a little bit. Everything else is pretty much chalk. Hollis and Pioneer looked like it was a good game. Caddo all over Depew. Dewar just hammers Foil. And obviously Laverne hammers Central Marlowe. Quentin over Drumright. So not a lot of surprises other than that one. I'm going to check and see actually if OBA actually is streaming. We may hop over to that one.
You got to check out the graphics here on this Kingfisher broadcast. They even got a red zone. They got a red zone banner there.
Yeah, they do it right. Oh, Swish, he does it right. So he's got a great crew. I'm really interested in Lone Grove's background color, this light blue. I don't know if they updated that or changed that, because I'm not sure that's a Skordle setting, but that's like a baby blue background on the scoreboard. You see that, Mark?
I do.
It's kind of interesting. So I'm going to try to hop over and see if OBA is live streaming real quick. And see.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I will give some scores going on here. We'll check in on the 5A bracket again and get you up to date with the latest going on there. Booker T. Washington has closed within a touchdown of Del City. That's 14-7. Collinsville and McAllister still tied. That game is in the fourth. Guthrie has tied it up against Bishop McGinnis. That's 35-35. Claremore still leads Coweta 28-26. Waiting on an update there. Pryor has extended their lead over Bishop Kelly now to 10, able to score. So it is Pryor on top of Bishop Kelly, 39-29. So 2 games tied going on in the fourth quarter in the Class 5A bracket, and another one within 7 points. Moving on down to Class 4A here, Ardmore and Elk City. It's a final. Ardmore defeats the Elks 28-21. That was one where the Elks thought they might be headed to Tuttle. Instead headed to Ardmore after the Clinton forfeit. And so we have 2 games final in that classification. Tuttle is advanced 51-6 over Clinton, and Ardmore goes to the second round 28-21. Grove is beating Salisaw 35-14. And then Ada 27, Fort Gibson 20, and a battle of ranked teams in Class 4A.
Touchdown Kingfisher.
Believe that game just started in the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah. So that's going to put K-Fish up by 2 scores. Looked like a little kind of edge stretch run up the sideline.
I think really it's just one, right? I mean, yeah, it was 28-all. I think somebody got a little overzealous with the score there and gave them a 14-point touchdown.
That's some home cooking. Yeah, I think they doubled up. They hit the button twice, I bet. I've
Yeah.
had to do that before when I've been producing. So, well, we'll keep an eye on this one. I couldn't get that OBA game to pull up. I think it's live. I'm trying to find it real quick. I don't have the greatest of internet here in northwest of Enid, almost a carrier. I'm kind of out here in the country. So,
Kiefer has gone on top of Chandler, 20-15. That's the one game in Class 2A Division 1 that's close right now. Had a good one earlier going to Class C, long road trip for the defending champs Tipton, all the way out to Tyrone. Tonight, Tipton leads at 22-12 in the fourth quarter. Timberlake getting all they want from Gary.
That does not surprise me. Timberlake's super talented. Don't get me wrong, but I've heard stylistically how Gary likes to play, and Gary's hoping they just get 3 yards every time they snap it. They're trying to play keep away the whole game, so they make you be really patient. And Timberlake they don't have the traditional size like they typically do. They're a little bit smaller than they got some big skill kids, right? The Judd kid, obviously, and a few others, but they're just not as big up front. And when that bracket came out, I had a couple of 8-man guys tell me they told me to keep an eye on that one. I'll tell you another one that's a interesting score is Covington Douglas is right there with Wilson Henrietta. Wilson Henrietta actually just took the lead in that one, and I know that game is actually live because I was watching that one earlier on. So maybe well, I lied to you. We're not going to do that. We're going to go to the OBA game real quick if you'd like to do that for a second.
Let's do it. Check on some of these other scores going on right now.
Yet there are a couple.
Looks like OBA is at about the 10, so it looks like they're going to have an opportunity to score here.
Looks like somebody's pretty excited. Big stop.
Oh, that was 4th down.
Guys in the white.
Goodness gracious. I didn't even realize that was 4th. It looked like it was 4th down and about 4. So Rika gets the stop on 4th down. Coach Kayot does not look happy but just below the numbers on the 20-yard line right now.
Don't have a clock on this game, so it's hard to tell how much time is left.
I'm going to guess there's not a ton of time left in that one.
Yep, the Eagles are taking a knee. Wow. That one came down to the final play.
That's a huge win for Waurika. I don't know if does it look like OBA has timeouts, or I can't quite tell. I think they're going to the middle to shake hands, aren't they?
Might be. That was so, wow, what a play deep down inside that territory. Waurika made the playoffs last year, but got beat in the first round by Turpin 52-6. And usually you see Class B1, District 1 really have a lot of success. So Waurika did win in the playoffs in 2022, knocking off Southwest Covenant 42-24 in the first round. But that's a final from OBA.
I'll tell you, OBA had some injuries late in the year. I know they lost their tailback, but I think I heard he was going to be back for this next game. So I'll try to hop over to this Covington game if I can get it to pop up. I've been asked to try to find the Duncan score.
I saw Carl Albert up on that game and that game at half, 24-0. It's 45-17 in the fourth right now. Carl Albert on top of Duncan.
There you go. Had a Duncan fan reach out and ask about if we could give him an update on the Duncan score. So there are some good games going on, though. I'm going to try to get that Covington game up.
Fourth quarter, Norman is within 7 now of Union, 42-35. Mustang is pulling away from Norman North, 42-17. And Edmond Memorial still slugging it out with Edmond North, leading 13-0.
Mark, wait to see this camera angle on this.
All right.
On this Covington game. I mean, this is legitimate school live streaming at its best. Look at that. They're like on the field. I mean, it's like the camera guys on the sideline.
Oh, this is a good one too.
Yeah, it's a good one. It looks like, does Covington have the ball? I can't tell.
I believe Covington has the ball.
Well, this would be huge for Covington. Camera guy's getting a little finicky.
There may not have been a great vantage point from up top.
I know Vegas Kerr was taking in the Empire game because he had mentioned to me early on, since we got the night off, he was going to go down there and sit in the box with his dad. So, retired Hall of Fame coach David Kerr still helps Pond Creek out, which I think that was a great win for them. I really do. Pond Creek, they started off slow, and boy, they really finished the year strong with wins over Garber and OBA, and then they pick up a playoff win here. So, man, look at that angle right there. You can't even see. There's a board there in the way.
Well, hopefully Vegas Kerr got to play the territory today. It's nice of weather as there was.
Yeah, it's gorgeous out.
So a couple of upsets in the Class B Division I bracket. I believe that will send Pond Creek Hunter to Yale for a game next weekend.
So Pond Creek Hunter at Yale, what's that going to do to with OBA getting beat by Waurika? What does that do in that part of the bracket?
Waurika will go to Dewar.
Gotcha.
No,
have they played already?
I think they did. I think they did play this year. Well, Waurika, I think that is an example of their difficult schedule kind of paying off.
For sure. Well, I know Tony's going to want to get on the show. That game at Kiefer looks like it's going down to the wire, like you mentioned earlier on. 20-15, Kiefer leads. Might have to shoot him a text to see how much time's left in that one.
I told Tony that I would send him the link to join the show, so I will do that.
Okay,
I can handle that. Waurika played at Dewar on the 26th of September, lost 46-0. They also played with Leetka at home, so they're not afraid to schedule some difficult games.
You want to pull up any of these brackets real quick? Maybe take a look at 6A and just kind of look at those scores and see what maybe some of the matchups could be for next week. You want to do that real quick?
Yeah, let's do that.
Awesome.
It looks like in the second round, we're going to get a game that we really haven't seen much of when it comes to the Tulsa powerhouses, Bixby and Union. If they're able to hold on, those teams have not played since 2020, and they've only played one time since 2011, and only 3 times since 1981.
Goodness.
So yeah, that's a little bit surprising, but the teams played a bunch. From 1949 all the way to 1979, and Bixby's actually won 20 of the 25 meetings. But that's those 2 Tulsa schools that have been so good have not really traditionally played each other. That would be the matchup if Union is able to hold on to Norman. Mustang and BA would be a rematch in the second round. Mustang lost to BA earlier this year in a low-scoring close game, but they did not have their quarterback playing in that game. And so Jaden O'Neal was out hurt, and that would be, I think, a really interesting rematch to see what the difference would be for Mustang against a BA team that really prides itself on great defense. UConn and Owasso will be a rematch of a game that happened in the final of the regular season, won by Owasso 47-27 at UConn. This time that game will be in Tulsa. And then Edmond Memorial and Jinx is the last game in the Class 6A Division I. That is pending that Edmond Memorial holds on.
Yeah, these, like you said, it looks just like Union and Norman are the only game really there that seems a little bit up in the air. If we want to, I can try to queue up a 5A bracket.
Edmond Memorial has gone and extended its lead over Edmond North to 20-0. So we get a maroon and white versus maroon and white in that matchup there.
Let's do 6A2. How about we do that?
Sure. Sounds good.
This will be another interesting bracket. As we've seen, I know we've called a handful of these teams this year already. I know you've had PCO. I've had Choctaw and Stillwater this year. Looking at the scores there in 6A2.
Edmond has not defeated Jinx since the teams split. Since Edmond split into 3 schools, lost their last 11 in that one. Looks like we would have, to me, the best game we would have in 6A Division II would be Putnam City hosting Muskogee.
I think you're right.
The other games, Stillwater versus Southmore, Choctaw, Sapulpa, and Sand Springs versus Bartlesville. The bottom half of that, I mean, it's tough everywhere. You get to the semifinal round here, whoever is going to be left alive is really good.
Interesting to see that Choctaw has to, Choctaw's been used to getting that bye. Obviously, they win big tonight and play Sapulpa. I haven't gotten to see Sapulpa play, but I've been really impressed with them this year as far as just kind of looking at scores and them and Sand Springs. I know Sand Springs has a great quarterback. I saw him at 7-on-7 the last couple of years at our Cowboy Clash and
Eastern Web.
Yeah,
and going to Texas State.
Oh, is he really? Okay,
Mm-hmm. He's committed there, and a multiple star athlete. So he's started there for the last 3 years. Bobby Klink's done a really good job with that program, and they challenged themselves in the non-district portion of the schedule by opening up the season with Bixby and Owasso.
Yeah.
So that makes games against Stillwater, Choctaw, and the like a little bit more manageable when you've seen such a good opponent. We've got a final. Coweta goes down to Claremore. That was the Tulsa World's game of the week, and give them credit on that game. Talking that Claremore had a really good chance to potentially pull the upset on that one against Coweta, and the Zebras do get it done. So Claremore is going to host the winner of Guthrie and Bishop McGuinness. That game is still tied at 35 in the fourth. Looks like we are in overtime in McAllister. Collinsville scored first. They lead at 21-14 there.
I'm queuing up the 5A bracket for us here real quick, Mark.
Okay.
And there we have a look at the 5A bracket. That McGuinness Guthrie score is still neck and neck. And you obviously
Yeah, Newcastle and Pryor. I think that's a rematch of a game that we had last year in the playoffs. That was a good one. There ought to be a bunch of points in that game, man. Wow.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we got Lugnut. You want to?
Yeah, Newcastle beat Pryor last year 38-37. Let's talk to Lugnut.
Let's do that. Just one second. Let's see if I can figure this out real quick. I don't know if his audio is working. Lugnut, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We got you. What's going on?
What's up, fellas? Heartbreaker for my Lions, 20-15 at Kiefer America.
We expected that to be a good game. Kiefer finally gets some revenge for that 1920 shellacking that Chandler put on them, showing no mercy. 129-0. Tell us about the game. What happened?
Well, Lions hold 3 and out on the first possession and take over at the 21. Just a methodical mark, 10-play drive, took about 6 minutes off the clock and nearly the whole first quarter, and the Lions go up 7-0, and wound up the halftime score was 7-0, and the Lions take it out. And junior quarterback Chase Buchanan had rolled his ankle in the Sperry game and had tried to play on it throughout, and he had been, but coming out in the second half, he was out and had a crucial fumble near midfield. And Kiefer got their first down offensively of the game at the 4:12 mark of the third quarter. And they go down to score. And as the kid crosses the end line, he spins the football for a personal foul. And it backed him up 15 yards. And they missed the PAT for a 7-6 game. We get it again. And once again, we turn it over and they go score. And the 2-point try is good. And we go score, and it was just a back-and-forth effort, and we have the ball at the 9-yard line with 39 seconds left, and we throw a pick in the back of the end zone to have a final score of 20-15 in favor of Kiefer.
Still a good season for Chandler, right? I mean, you guys –
It was
a year in which the overall numbers were down a little bit, but –
Right. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just saying, I mean, like it lost to Southwest Sequoia in a close game and a loss here to Kiefer in a close game. I mean, there's nothing to hang your head about on those.
Yeah, we lose at Lone Grove in week 2, and in weeks 4 and 5 we lose to district foes that I haven't seen Sequoia score, but I'm sure Metro won tonight, and they'll be moving on. But and then we beat a good Clinton team that went to total tonight, and you're right. Our numbers were atrocious this year, and for 2A1 football, I mean, tonight, Mark, and Adam, we had 21 kids suited up on the sideline, and 2 injuries for starters, and it's just our kids. I'm so stinking proud of them. They were down, and we get a 40-yard touchdown run from Darius Wade, who there's not enough accolades for me to give to that young man for the season. He took over the running back spot when we moved Buchanan to quarterback, and he's going to end the season with close to 1,100 rushing yards. And he just he broke one for 57 that got called back by a penalty in the subsequent turnover, and led to to the Trojans' touchdown. But Darius is just he's a special kid. He's about 6'1", 6'2", goes about 180, and I think get some muscle on him. But there'll be some small schools I think that should take a look at him, and he's that good and that explosive. And he broke the one down the sideline to give us the lead back, and we kicked the ball out of bounds on the kickoff, and it gives them to him at the short field at the 45. It's just kind of bad from there, and just couldn't hold them. And then we just get it back and march down the field, and they stopped us on the second possession of the first quarter, going back at the 6. Or we could have, been up 13-14-0, and then, but our defense played great, and I'm really proud of our kids. Finished 7-4 on the season, and 5 seniors, and those kids are, special to the program. And this is a longest streak that Chandler's had for being in the playoffs at 7. So just got some freshman kids that were on the field this year, and some 8th graders coming, but numbers are still kind of paltry. So it's going to be, it's a tough road, and especially in a really good 2A1 football classification.
Well, next week we're going to have a really, really good quarterfinals. It's going to be Sequoia Tahlequah at Jones. Marlow will travel to Kingston. OCS will go to Metro, and Kiefer will go to Washington. So those are going to be 4 games that I think are going to be very competitive.
I'm available to be your analyst. I don't have a game next week, so wherever you want to go, I'm in. I'll even buy dinner wherever you want to eat. So, but hey, speaking of dinner, Cafe 75 down here in Mounds, just south of Kiefer, got some report from the Lions fans. That place is phenomenal.
Yeah, you didn't go? I got the chicken fried steak down there that's supposedly really good.
I'm still on liquids, Mark. I got surgery coming the 24th, so me and you will have to take a road trip, and we'll get Adam to come down, and we'll take a road trip over there and try that chicken fry.
When Adam and I did the game in Kiefer last year, we went to Mamadou's, which is really close, and it is definitely the prime rib there, and really just anything is very, very good. It's good stuff.
It's 2 thumbs up.
What's the score of that Guthrie McGinnis game? I saw 35-35 last I checked.
I think that's it. We got T-Fred. We got our best man on it there. T-Fred is updating the score. I don't think that he's going to I'm sure he's keeping us up to date.
42-35.
Who?
McGinnis.
Oh, wow. So funny, Mark. So funny. I call into the other show, and T-Fred's a regular on there. And one night it finally dawned on him who I was. And he sent Chris a message. He goes, "Lugnut call into Mark showing the animal?" And he says, "Yes." He goes, "Oh my God, that dude's famous." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, Mark, for making me famous. I appreciate that." And Adam. Once again, it was a great season for the Lions.
We got a good one that just finished. It looks like McAllister beat Collinsville 28-27 in overtime.
And Collinsville was ahead late, right?
It went into overtime. Yeah, Collinsville scored first.
Oh, wow.
In overtime.
Wow. Any surprises tonight?
Yeah, we got a lot of surprises. We a number 4 over a number 1. Claremore defeated Coweta 28-26 in that 5A bracket. So there've been some really good games going on. We've been checking in on those. So,
well, ours was a great football game.
Lone Grove 36-35 in the fourth quarter there. Holland Hall is ahead of Berry Hill 28-21, another overtime game in the Class 3A bracket.
So Coweta went down, huh?
That's the first district champion to lose tonight. So,
wow, that's kind of shocking. I thought they would roll over Collinsville. Shows you what I know, huh?
Pecola Pawnee 24-20. That's a final. So it looks like Fairview will host Pecola next week in a game with the team getting on the bus, having to travel quite a ways there. So, yeah, starting to get a lot of finals coming in here. Love it.
How about?
We appreciate it. Anything else?
See you guys. No, just proud of my Lions is all. So we'll see you. Talk to you guys later.
Hey, we appreciate the report. Yeah, here's another upset. District champ going down in Class A Division II. Southwest Covenant knocked off Kanawha 28-26. The defending champ was eliminated tonight in Allen. The Mustangs really put on, had a great season, came on strong in district play, and Allen defeated Woodland tonight 31-26. And Thomas holds on after trailing Ringling to win 19-14. Those are two very, very proud high school football programs in the state of Oklahoma in the small classes.
Do we want to get Tyson Bliss on from Minko?
I sent Tyson the link. Is Tyson ready?
He's ready, man. He was waiting on us, so I'm going to add him in right now.
Oh, that's sweet. Tyson had to pull his tractor out there from Country Equipment. So
right, yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got sound clear.
Okay, all right. I'm in the pickup, and I didn't know. So, I mean, the play of the game was Minko got the ball to start the second half, went down and scored, and then they went up there 14-10, and they called an onside and got it, and then went and scored from there. So that's kind of where they took control of it, and then it was back and forth from there, and they held them on the 10-yard line at the end of the game to win 24-14. But it was a good game.
You were impressed with Cashin's quarterback?
Yeah, he's a stud. Yeah, it took, 4 to 5 dudes every time to get him down. Of course, Minko's running back is the same way. If you've ever seen him play, that Valdez kid is the real deal. He's good. So.
Got to feel good for Minko after losing last year in the first round of the playoffs to get back and the winning side of things. And we mentioned that they've been over the last 15 years in the playoffs, they'd won 10 first-round games. And so that spans even a little bit past Coach Wardlaw, but that's a impressive feat for a program.
Yeah, and I'm just getting into it. My son's just in 8th grade, but Wardlaw became, got his 100th win and was like the second youngest coach to ever do that in Oklahoma high school football or something crazy like that. I don't know if you know that stat, but it was pretty impressive. So, yeah.
Yeah, that we had remarked all week that was a great matchup of coaches. There, you got Lynn Shackelford, who's at 200 in his career and went over that mark this year. So, yeah,
wow.
that's a really good group. Really good group there.
Yeah, but it was a good game. I'm not sure who's next on the deal. You probably know that, but
I do. I can tell you. You guys will be headed out on the road next week. And we'll be headed for Tonkawa.
Okay, what's that look like, you think?
A really good team. Tonkawa and Fairview had a good game earlier this season. First-year coach there, Trenton Harmon. Really good coaching staff up there and a lot of tradition. So I'll get you hooked up, Tyson, with a good place to eat next Friday night. Yeah. You're gonna have your choice of a bunch of places. You just have to get there a little early and get to Ponca City.
Oh yeah, we can do that. So, well, I appreciate it, but that's that onside kick did it. It totally changed the game. So it was a good call. So
thanks for checking in.
All right, see you guys. Thanks.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Tyson.
We go. We got Superintendent Kevin Sims from Minko, who also calls the broadcast for the Minko Bulldogs. We're gonna have him jump on. Mark, is that okay?
That's great. Sounds good.
Awesome. I have him jump on now. Coach or Mr. Sims is joining us from the field, it looks like.
Man, I tell you what a game. 2 really good football teams tonight out there. I think, the difference in that football game was we won the third phase of special teams on that onside kick. That really changed the momentum of the game. And going up 2 scores was huge. And I tell you, they didn't have an answer for Valdez or our offensive line. We really took control at the line of scrimmage in the second half. Cash is a darn good football team too, so we'll take this win.
Yeah, I would say so. What's been the difference for Minko? You lost that game earlier this season at Wynnewood against a really good football team that is undefeated. But your guys have really rallied and come on and played well since.
Well, I think you just mentioned it, Mark. Tonight, there were 2 great football coaches on that field with Coach Shackelford and Coach Wardlaw. And I think Coach Wardlaw does a really good job, has done a splendid job this year keeping the boys grounded. You can't get too up. You can't get too down. You just play the game of football the way you're coached to do it. And I think that's what they've done all season. And we've really, in most of our games, been able to control the line of scrimmage. Tonkawa, I don't know much about them other than they're pretty darn good. But I also know that Minko is pretty darn good. So I think it's going to be a great contest again next week. There's no gimmies now. It's going to be, to win, you're going to have to play well and play hard. And then have things go the right way for you. You have to have a little bit of luck involved too. But I'm excited about where we're at. And I think we'll go up there and play well. Don't you, Adam?
Yeah. Hey, Mark and I have been saying all year that, obviously we have a lot of great classes in Oklahoma football, but Class A and these second round matchups in Class A are gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah.
That you guys' game against Tonkawa, you better bring some bags of ice with you and some towels to clean up your bloody nose because those 2 teams are gonna hit each other all night long. So
and that's something that just Minko. This is something the Minko team does is hit you. They're not afraid to just knock the snot out of you. And then the same for Cash. It was a hard-hitting football game out there tonight. 2, it's really not a shame. That's just the way it is in the playoffs. But usually you don't see a matchup like this in the first round, And I hate to see Cassia not advance because they're a really good football team.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of teams in that class. It's going to be really difficult. I mean, every week you're going to have to earn it. Each week, first time ever for Minko and Tonkawa to meet in football. So
that's pretty interesting. And I can tell you one thing. I don't know. Minko's going to go up there and compete, fellas. They're going to go compete hard, and we're going to have a chance to win that football game next week. I really believe that.
Absolutely.
I
Hey,
believe
Kevin.
it too.
Yeah, thanks for your time, man. We appreciate it.
You guys do a great job, and Skordle is a tremendous avenue for Minko. If I may be really brief, we have people all over the country. I got texts from people in Alabama tonight. We waiting to go to the OU game tomorrow. Watching us, so it's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy being able to broadcast. Now we're not as good as Mark and Adam, I promise you, but we have a lot of fun at it.
Well, I don't know about that, but no, that's really cool that people can keep track of that if they're out of town. So yeah, we love it. So you guys, will you all be with us next week from Tonkawa?
I'll be with you. I'll be broadcasting from Tonkawa, and unfortunately, I may have to drive a band bus. Our band director is going to be gone. I'm like, no, so I may have to drive a bus up there, which I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Well, Kevin, you'll be Tonkawa has our network too, so they got a good live streaming crew over there also. So we'll have two great Skordle schools going at it.
Good
again,
deal.
So.
Hey, you guys take care and have a good night.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. We appreciate it. It got a final in from the game in Guthrie. McGinnis wins it 42-35, and so McGinnis will go on the road to face Claremore. I think that is maybe 12 in a row for McGinnis in the first round. They just have been so consistent and so good in the first round all these years. And they get the job done this year on the road to improve to 10-1.
It looks like Kingfisher just scored. They just took the lead with 16 seconds to go. I just missed it. I'm not quite good at this producing thing yet, Mark. I almost got it, like perfect timing.
Wow, what a game that's been down there.
Yeah. I mean, back and forth and back and forth. I know TJ Scholes from Washington, he's going to join us here shortly and kind of let us know how his game went. Threw a couple texts out to some coaches. I know they're probably wrapping their games up. I reached out to Jeff Craig, good friend of the show, and he obviously had an amazing game tonight. So hopefully maybe we could get him on too as well. So Tristan Geringer from Walika, I reached out to him to see if he could hop on. So maybe we'll start seeing some of these coaches roll in here pretty soon.
Yeah. I'm reaching out to Brent Barnes at UConn and so hopefully we'll have some people that can join us here pretty quick. So I think we're getting close to where we have most of the finals in tonight. And that's awesome. We got the end of this Kingfisher Lone Grove game.
Yes, sir.
43-35. Is that 43-36?
Mark, look at that graphic, the rolling bank sign in the top left.
Those guys do more than just eat when they go on the road. That's impressive. Well, we've seen some crazy things happen.
Oh, goodness. Well, that was a big hit.
They're going to have to go 70 yards to get that done. Wow, what a night so far. I mean, a lot of these games, close games, going right down to the wire. Booker T has tied up Del City.
Oh, good. Wow.
28 all. That's got to be the bracket of the night right here is Class 5A. That has given us the most surprises and the best games. And I don't even think it's close. So not much. There can't be much time left in that game at Calsu Stadium. That's a good one.
It looks like there is 9 seconds left in this one, Mark. Lone Grove is obviously going to call a timeout. So, well, that Ada Fort Gibson game was a heck of a game.
Ada wins.
Ada does win, 34-27. Salisaw, Grove got up big on Salisaw. Salisaw scored a couple times and got back in the game, and then Grove kind of extended. I've heard a lot of really good things about Grove. be interesting to see what they do second round.
Grove will go to Tuttle next week. And so the 4A matchups in the quarterfinals will be Ada traveling to Elgin. Should be a good one. Same side of the bracket. Ardmore goes to Cushing. Ada and Cushing had that great game last year in the playoffs. Grove will head to Tuttle, and Weatherford will make the long trip to Broken Bow.
Whew. Weatherford to Broken Bow. What's that distance? Let's watch this last play before we have TJ join us.
Whatever you got here, hook and lateral, whatever.
Oh, goodness.
Quarterback scrambling, throws it up.
You got to get rid of it. Oh, he doesn't. That's going to be the gamer.
That's it.
K-Fish with the dub.
Wow. What a game.
Let's bring in TJ Scholes from Washington.
What's up, fellas? How's it going?
What's up, TJ? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Just got done leaving the stadium and getting set or taking everything down. So good win for the Warriors. Chisholm came out. They're throwing punches early. Kind of had the Warriors backpedaling. Connor Quintero throwing the ball around pretty well to his receivers and testing the secondary, but the Warriors were able to turn them over a couple times in that second quarter and turn the game around.
Yeah. What was how was the crowd tonight?
It was good. A lot of numbers. Like at halftime, I went around and saw a bunch of people, but really on the Washington side, kind of reserved. Thought there wasn't a whole lot of energy, and I think that kind of might have helped lead into the slow start for the Warriors. And we had Coach Beller on at halftime, and he thought the offense and defense didn't do what they needed to do to start off with, and Chisholm took advantage of that and was able to take the lead in the first quarter. But the Warriors responded and played like the championship team they are, and came back with the victory.
TJ, we had.
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
I was going to say, you mentioned Chisholm. I'd like to give Chisholm a shout out. We had them earlier on in the year. I think they've improved a lot over the last couple of years, and they've had to. They struggled for 2 or 3 seasons, and just very uncharacteristic of that program. That program's always been super competitive, and Coach Condor did a great job. And you're right. And they've had some injuries too. I believe the Haney kid was back tonight. That kid is a talented kid. I don't know if he was 100% or not. He really banged his ankle up pretty bad. But I think that's a good test for Washington early, because I knew Chisholm would have some physicality and have some athletes and be able to at least push them a little bit. I think that's probably good for Washington to get that start the playoffs.
Yeah, whenever I first started helping out on broadcasting with the Warriors, we saw Chisholm a lot. Went up to Chisholm, I believe my second year at Washington, and they gave it to us. And then the next year we went up there and beat them in the playoffs, knocked them out, and then we had them in district play. And you're right, Adam. And I was in Enid for 5 years, and while I was up there, me and Lane Jones would actually go and do some Chisholm games with Tom Nelson. So I knew Tom from back in those days for the radio station up there, and so they were always talented, and it's, like you said, a physical team. And so it's good to see them back in there, because they kind of fell off a little bit. Probably had a 4-year stretch where they weren't what they were used to being. And like you said, Coach Condor coming over from Enid has done a great job, and I was impressed. They going into the game, whenever we picked it on the other night, I would, just by looking at scores and talking to people, I didn't think Chisholm was going to be much of a test. But I was surprised. And Quintero kid can throw it. He's got some good receivers. The Manu Smovic, whatever his name is, Smolinski, he's good. He's talented. That dude's a big kid. I don't know if he's got any looks, but he's a good looking kid out there on the receiver tight end position, and he gave us fits. And then finally our defensive backs started just making plays on the ball and picked off Quintero 3 times, and that was kind of the name of the game after that.
Creed Bear still having as good a season as he did last year as a freshman?
He's struggling. I wouldn't say struggling. You lose Nate Roberts and Mason Singletary at those receiver positions, and so he's kind of working his way through there. numbers aren't as good as far as touchdowns and interceptions go because they only had 2 interceptions last year and like 40 touchdowns. But still slinging the rock pretty good and starting to get comfortable with his new weapons. Cade Babcock made an incredible catch. If you guys were able to watch it, we replayed it like 3 times. I mean, just extending out. And then Jackson Mays is coming in. And of course you got Case Alexander, who had a long touchdown pass tonight. Just an incredible athlete. And so I think he's starting to settle in and trust his other receivers. And I know Coach Beller was wanting to make a point of it early on in the season to, don't just try to pick your favorite receivers and throw to them. Try to develop some chemistry with your other guys. And I think he's starting to do that. He missed a couple of games because of injury, but he's starting to come into form. And then the other thing is when you got two talented tailbacks like we do, you don't really have to throw the ball around as much as he did last year. Doing a lot of leaning on that offensive line and that running game.
Yeah, fantastic. That's sounds like it's an exciting game. Kiefer coming up next week, coming to Reed Field.
Yeah, I mean, we did that on the Pick'em show with that game, Kiefer and Chandler, and just doing a little bit of research. Sounds like the Worley kid's a real deal, and so that's going to be another test for the secondary, and we'll see what we can do. Last year we played him here at Reed Field, ran away with it pretty early. The game got away with it. I had to actually leave early to go because it was the week before Thanksgiving. I was heading up to see my dad in Wisconsin, and it was out of hand by the third quarter. And my partners were like, "Why don't you just go? We're leaving at 10 o'clock anyway." So I checked out because the game was over. And so, I don't know what's going to look like tonight. But again, we talked about how Kiefer's kind of been knocking on the door the last couple of years, and so it'll be a good battle, a good test again for our secondary. See if we can get a little more pressure. We weren't able to get after Quintero as much as far as getting some sacks and stuff, but secondary did answer the call, getting 3 interceptions. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good ball game. And I know, Mark, you talked about it. These second round games in Class 2A, there's going to be some good ones.
They'll be really good. I can't wait to see some of these. So, well, congratulations on the win tonight, TJ.
Appreciate it. We're going to go head back and do a little powwow, make sure we get our minds right for next week at the rest of the broadcasters. So we're going to make sure we're ready to go.
Hey, thanks for doing the game of the week for us, TJ. You guys always do a fantastic job. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it too, bud. You guys take care.
I got a couple of early potential longest road trip.
Let's see what Coach Bernard thinks about those two while you're going over. We're going to bring him in real quick. There's the man.
Yeah. How are you guys?
What's up?
Doing good. Now that that's over and we won, I'm doing good.
Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thanks, sir.
What did you guys see in Hobart when you drew them? I'm just scouting them, and they were able to hang in with you guys for a little bit there early tonight.
Yeah, no, that offense they run, that flex bone stuff is, something you don't see each week. So definitely a little nervous going in. How are we going to react to it? We didn't do well early. They kind of popped a couple of dives on us that, make you a little nervous. So we're going to be able to stop it. And then, we kind of settled into the game, and it wasn't the prettiest of games on the offensive side either. Some mental mistakes, some mental busts, a couple of holding penalties, kind of shot ourselves in the foot early. But the ultimate goal was to win, and we did that. So we're moving on.
Yeah, fantastic. That's impressive. You guys getting a win district championship again, and with this young team, I mean, you got to be happy with the way that they've responded.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's what kind of going in. We worried about. This is the first real playoff game some of them have been in. So different atmosphere, different feeling coming in. So. Maybe some jitters early, and maybe that was the point of our struggles. But ultimately they kind of settled in, and we got it done.
You guys are going to host Pecola, a team that has had a really good group of athletes the last few years. Been playing in the state basketball tournament, and they've been really good. They're also good on the football field. So, what do you? I don't want to take away from you celebrating the victory tonight, but what do you know about Pecola?
The film I have seen of them, athletic all over the place. We actually finished our game early the night they played Rejoice. So to get to watch them for a quarter of that game. Athletes everywhere, spread the ball around. Physical. All those good teams are like that. They will be a handful. We're just happy we're playing them here and we don't have to drive to Pensacola.
This will be what, year 2 that Pensacola. I mean, obviously Pensacola is probably happier they're not driving all the way to Hooker, but they went to Hooker last year, right? Round 2.
Yeah. So it's at least 3 hours shorter.
That's true.
I guess they look at it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
I got some distances for you of games that we will have in the coming up this weekend. The trip for Pensacola to Fairview is 280 miles, but that is not the longest bus ride that the team is going to have. So I'll go up in ascending order. Weatherford to Broken Bow, 305 miles.
Ouch.
That's a long way. And then we've got 3 that are really close. Caddo to Laverne, 332 miles. Rejoice and Hooker.
Oh, yeah.
Hooker's going to go 337. And then the longest trip that I see next week is the Fairland Owls going to Mangum, 339 miles. I mean, that is the extreme northeast portion of the state to the extreme southwest of the state.
Yes. I'm glad I'm making the trip for a mile to get to the stadium. So I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, for those kids at Fairland that live up there on the shore of Grand Lake, I think Mangum's probably going to look a little different to them.
It will be different. It will be a different landscape. It will.
Anything else you want to add, Robert? We appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on the radio show this week too. Appreciate that.
Only thing I'll tell you, and I know you guys are kind of stat guys. Haddon Miller, 323 yards receiving tonight.
What?
Oh,
yep.
Oh,
323 and 3 touchdowns.
I mean, it's going to be tough for him to be beat in the Skordle Player of the Week.
Golly, yeah.
13 catches, 323 yards, and 3 touchdowns. You know how many yards we threw for? 360. So
that's great play calling, Robert.
Yeah, it was a lot of Haddon Miller.
Wow.
That sounded like whenever Leach had Crabtree and he would just throw the fade to him every time, right?
Yeah, we did throw a lot of those tonight. So
they'll be seeing him on the bus.
Yes, it was a good night. It was a good night for Haddon.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Robert. We'll talk to you again soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Robert, you bet.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it seems like tonight we've had more close games than potentially normal. So what a night.
Oh, it's been good. Looks like Coach Powers from Mangum is going to hop on with us here in a minute. So
I like it. See if we can get a final there. Del City knocks off Booker T. Washington 34-31.
34-31. Man, that was a heck of a game. That was not expected.
The Eagles, they played earlier in the season. It was all Del City. And so the Eagles are able to hold on and win in that one. And they will travel to Lawton next week to take on Lawton MacArthur.
See a couple comments over here. Craig Bartell, shout out to Craig, good friend of mine. He's following along in the comments. So if there are any questions and anybody wants to mention any games they'd like us to cover or talk about, we obviously be more than happy to talk about those. So
yeah, it's just been a heck of a night tonight so far. So let's see here. We can reset that 3A bracket after the Kingfisher win. That's going to send Kingfisher to Lincoln Christian next week to take on the Bulldogs, 2-time defending state champs. Inola will go to Heritage Hall. The winner of that will face off. So the other side of the bracket will have Perkins at Cassia and Holland Hall at Sulphur. Class 3A.
I can pull that up for you just real quick for the fans to see while you were kind of going through that again.
we will have some really good matchups, I think, also in Class 2A Division II. Wyandotte will go to Stroud. This might be my favorite matchup, really, of almost any class right here. I would say I'll put this in my top 3 or 4 games next week. Holdenville at Adair. 2 teams that have only 1 loss on the season. That'll be a heck of a game. Dibble will travel to Vian, St. John Stadium to take on the Wolverines, and then Salina will take on Davis. So, Scotty Harmon and the Salina Wildcats go down to face perennial power and defending state champs in that class, the Davis Wolves.
Looks like Michael Swisher has graced us with his presence, so we'll have to want to stop sharing. No one wants to see the 3A bracket. They just want to see Michael Swisher's face. Maybe we could bring him in with the 3A bracket. I mean, what kind of a cue would that be?
That'd be pretty good.
Okay,
I mean,
let's see if we can do this.
Production skills are getting better by the minute.
I'm going to try this. There he is. He's here. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Swish, watch my skills real quick.
Swish, where are you?
Can you hear us, Michael?
I hear you.
Are you in a closet? Where are you at?
I feel like I'm in a closet. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
Got you.
Yeah, we just finished up here, so it was a crazy one here.
Well, tell us what happened. I mean, we saw that Kingfisher.
I have no idea.
Jackets got behind, but they had to score with under a minute to go to pull out the victory.
So the game started crazy and ended crazy. It started, Kingfisher takes the opening kickoff back for a touchdown and gives up a touchdown drive, and then Lone Grove kicks off the Kingfisher and gets another touchdown on the kickoff. So up 14-7, hadn't even run an offensive play or scored a defensive touchdown. So it's 21-13 late in the first quarter. It ends the half that way. The teams just trade punches in the second half, and Kingfisher's up, I guess, up a touchdown with about a minute and a half left, minute and 45 left, and Lone Grove gets an 80-yard touchdown on 3rd and 10. Goes for 2, go up 36-35. They get it. Tatum Quinn gets a 2-yard touchdown, or excuse me, 2-point conversion. I'm telling you, it's been a long one. And so I think with a minute 44 left, Lone Grove's up 36-35. With 58 seconds left, Kingfisher's got a 4th and 15 at its own, I want to say, 41-yard line. And Jet Birdwell finds Cason Blair for a 56-yard pass to about the 3. And a couple plays later, Cason Blair takes it in, and then the two kind of swap roles, and Cason Blair throws a 2-point conversion to Birdwell to end up 43-36. So it was a crazy game, one that, you know, if they don't complete that pass, it's over, and Lone Grove's going to Tulsa next week. But now it's Kingfisher instead.
Wish, is somebody doing laundry in the background?
Well, I've got my B crew there. You know, I'm the talent, and so I've got the boys up here packing up. You guys know what it's like. We just show up. We show up, look pretty for the camera, sound really good on the air, and make everybody else do the work.
Where was the pregame meal tonight?
I'm telling you, we've never gone wrong there, so we can't stay away. We go to Two Frogs, man. It's really good. It's convenient right off the interstate, but it's steak, catfish. Well, one guy gets fish sticks. Steak, catfish, ribs, fried chicken. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to name him because I don't want to embarrass Kenny Lunsford, but he gets fish sticks every time we go.
Do they have to go to the IGA to get those special for you guys, or are fish sticks on the menu?
Well, it's on the kid menu next to the Dino Nuggets.
Okay, that's good. Hey, Kingfisher, what's been the difference this year? I mean, I know that it's a tough non-district schedule that they play every year. They seem to be playing some pretty good football right now and had some really competitive games the last few weeks, so they're kind of getting tested now.
Yeah, so they've got really good skill players. for the most part, they've been able to avoid the big injury bug. But the offensive line was very young and inexperienced, and they've kind of had to tinker with it all year. But they've gotten better and better. So the offensive line just kind of coming around a little bit for them has really been the difference for them. Because Lone Grove's got a really good defensive front, and Kingfisher held their own against them tonight. So I think the offensive line being able to really improve, it's been a big step up for them because they've got the skill kids. It's just whether or not that O-line was going to be able to make plays.
Lincoln Christian, that's going to be a tough assignment.
Don't know much about them. They any good?
They're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Coach, father, son, quarterback, head coach, and then just loads of players in depth everywhere.
Yeah. So the last time Kingfisher won a playoff game was here in 2022, and we got to go to Lincoln Christian after that. It went really well for Lincoln Christian. So Lincoln Christian gave up 3 points in their 7 district games and pitched a shutout tonight. So yeah, it's definitely going to be an underdog role for the Jackets.
Their quarterback Quinn, what kind of player is he?
Tough. Made some good throws, but tough runner. They really did a lot of good stuff on third down tonight. Kept some drives alive, but just kind of crafty throwing the ball, but really tough running the ball.
Awesome. Well, good luck on your trip to Tulsa next week.
Yeah, I think we're just going to drive straight there right now. So see you at the Hard Rock.
All right.
Thanks, Wish.
You bet. See you guys.
Appreciate the time, Michael Swisher, there with Kingfisher. Well, what a game. That was a good one tonight.
Yeah, it was a good one. Back and forth the whole time. Big win for Kingfisher. Kingfisher's been just these last couple of years, they struggled there to their standards. And obviously having a lot of familiarity with that community and family members there, I know they're really excited about this season, and I know they're excited about what they have coming. I hear that you hear that a lot, but I hear their youngsters are really good and have a lot of talent. So I think you're going to see Kingfisher making some noise, obviously here in the future. So I sent about 20 text messages out, and now we got people waiting to get in. So Mark, we're gonna have some good guests coming on. We got Coach Powers from Mangum. We'll probably bring him in next, and then we got Coach Harmon from Tonkawa, and then we got Coach Taylor Sweatfigger from Adair. So we got a mix. So you want me to queue up Sam first?
Let's run them through, man. Let's do it.
All right, Coach Powers, make sure you unmute whenever I get you on here. All right. All right, here he is.
Sam, what's up?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing well. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the game tonight.
Man, just came out on fire. We told them they had to start fast. Wilson's a physical football team that gets in the eye and just runs it down your throat. Our guys came out, opening kickoff, covered an onside, scored within 30 seconds, and then it just kind of rolled from there. Put our 2s and 3s in about 8 minutes with 8 minutes left in the third quarter and just let it roll out the rest of the way like that. I think it was 44-7 when we put our subs in, and then finished 57-21. So
that's a rematch for you guys. I mean, is it kind of a litmus test for your team to know how you played against them at the end of the year as opposed to the beginning?
Yeah. It was a little bit different. They came out in some different stuff against us, but you could tell that both teams have really improved and are finishing their seasons the right way. So
tell us about some of the guys on your team that have played well for you this year.
Right. I mean, the number one, I think we talked at the beginning of the year is Remington Laughlin. We finally got him healthy and he's kind of balled out. I think he has over 2,000 yards passing, over 600-700 yards rushing, and accounted for 35 of our touchdowns. We have Curtis Henley went over 1,000 tonight running the ball. Zeke Rogers has had an incredible year, over 10 touchdowns receiving, 800 yards receiving. And then defensively, Cooper Curbo I think he's at 130 tackles or more right now. So he's averaging like 15 a game. So it's just been it's been a really good season for a lot of guys involved, a team effort truly.
It's a good thing for you that it's 2025 and not 1995, because you'd have to drive a long way to exchange film with Fairland.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. 5.5 hours, I think.
Yeah, that's the longest trip I think anybody makes next week. They're coming 339 miles to your place. And so, that's not necessarily I think you're familiar with Coach Laverty, right? A little bit.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So, but not a team that you might just like get a chance to see if you're not playing one Friday.
Yeah. Good ball club, though. Coach Lab does a great job, and I'm excited for the opportunity to get to compete against him on the field. Those guys do a good job. Quarterback's a stud, so we're excited.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations, Sam, on the big win tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
You bet. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yes,
Sam
sir.
Thomas, the coach of the Mangum Tigers. They're a big win for them tonight. All right, who's next?
Coach Harmon, Tonkawa. Looks like I got a player with him, too.
Sweet.
Yeah. You guys got me?
We got you.
Man.
Cool. I got Kason Johnson, quarterback, here with me.
Kason, tell us about the game tonight.
It was a good win. We executed really well. I thought it was one of the best fights we played this year. The line was on turns with each other. The receivers were doing their job, and everyone just executed.
He's being pretty humble. Kason balled out in the first half tonight. He had a great half.
You guys handled Haskell pretty easy. Give me a little scouting report on him and what makes him a good quarterback for you guys.
Just the fact that he managed it. Kason's a gamer. Kason didn't play last year. We begged him to come play and ended up being our starting quarterback for us. And the reason he's good is he just competes. He takes care of the ball, and then he just wants to win. So one of our best leaders. We love him. And tonight it was clicking on all cylinders for him.
Trent, you guys have played a tough schedule. I mean, you've seen some teams. You've seen Stroud earlier this year. Within your district, there's some really good teams, including Pawhuska and Pawnee. You saw Fairview. Kind of break down Class A for us and some of the teams that you guys, next week's opponent will be Minko coming to Tonkawa. We talked with them earlier tonight after their win over Cashin. So how do you see this class shaping up right now in the quarterfinals?
Yeah, it was a crazy tough schedule. All my hair's falling out, if you can't tell from it. It's been nuts, but it's been brutal. Front half was really tough, and then we had Pawhuska in the middle and Pawnee at the end, and now we're rolling into playoffs. You were talking about Class A. I think it's wide open right now. There's so many good teams across the board. I mean, I was checking at halftime. Morrison was down, I think, a touchdown to Rejoice at one point. I mean, it's all over the place right now, and it's every man for himself now. I mean, second round, everybody's going to be in a dogfight next week.
And I think in the class, a lot of teams, you've got Rejoice that may like to throw the ball, but there are a lot of teams that really just like to play in a phone booth, right? I mean, they're just going to come out there and try to get after you. Do you guys prefer that kind of a matchup?
I will say I think we're blessed the fact that we can match up with multiple things. I've been here 1 year doing defense. I feel like I've seen every offense under the sun in one season. We've seen spread in Pawnee with their stuff. It's all over the board, but our kids do a really good job of adapting to it whenever we show them what's up each week.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. Making K County proud tonight. Yeah. A big win. Thanks, Coach Harmon.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. See you.
See you guys.
That's a team to keep an eye on in that class. Absolutely. They're going to be right there. So Tonkawa, Fairview, Pecola, Minko on the same side of the bracket with Pawhuska, Wynnewood, Hooker, and Rejoice on the other side. So we got a rematch of the state championship game last year coming up here in the quarterfinals.
Class, we talked about it from the beginning of the year. I mean, I think all the classes are great once you get past the first round. We're getting ready to bring Coach Sweatfigger on, and I think their class, I think these second round games in their class are going to be phenomenal too as well. So that's what it's supposed to be like. I know a lot of people complained about splitting the classes and everything, but I do think it creates like immediate second round games that are just uber competitive across the board.
Yeah, I think that to me that there's it makes it more fair. I think it makes it more interesting. It sets up two really great weekends of games where you've got them Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I'm not buying any of this stuff that it's like participation medal, that everybody gets a championship. I mean, these championships are earned and they're very difficult. So I think that we've got something going pretty good right now. And it'll be interesting to see how that works in basketball this year. Now that they're going to do that.
Well, my experience firsthand being out of school like Cashin when they were they were 8-man school on the borderline of going 11-man, and understanding what some of those schools experience, and the difference between the bottom of A and the top of 2A. Like, people don't realize the difference in those communities, towns that have stoplights and restaurants, and then those towns are playing towns that don't have anything like that, an established community. And I think the OSSA got it right. I really do. I think it creates a more of a level playing field, and also creates really great playoffs. So you ready to bring Sweatfigger in?
Let's do it.
All right, we'll bring him on. Let me see if I can. My production skills have been pretty good tonight. There he is.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Doing great.
Good.
How's everything in Adair?
It's good, man. It's a good night. A lot of fun.
Tell us, I mean, Adair's had some really good teams the last couple of years, and historically it's been a very, very good program. How does this team stack up with some of the others?
So, what comes to mind is that group that Coach Lippy had in 15. If you remember that team that made a run, beat that Millwood group in the semifinals. This team, funnily enough, as they've made all these runs in like the last, I'd say 15 years of kind of when they started get it going, there's always been a Bradbury here. There's always been a Bradbury. So, you had Brady come through first, and then BJ, and then Bear later. And now Brady's our head coach here back in Adair, and has really dove back into that culture and just took it up a notch. In his third season, taking back over, has got it right back on pace. High flying offense, fun to watch. Defense is coming around quick. Josh Forrest, defensive coordinator, has done an amazing job. Can't say enough about these guys. Got Ernie Ragland as the offensive line coach. He's kind of a legend in Northeast Oklahoma. So Brady and Coach Rogers and Lip have really put a great staff together, and these kids have responded really well. So in comparison to that old group, I'd say they're right on pace, Mark.
Your district is really tough this year, right? I mean, Salina had a really good season. Wyandotte won on the road tonight. So you all, and again, like Enola got a playoff victory. You guys handled them early in the season this year. So you've gone up against a really tough schedule this year to be 11-0.
It was. We went to Inola. We opened up at J week 0 and had a good game there. We played well, did what we were supposed to. Went to Inola, and we were in a dogfight. Obviously, historically, Inola hasn't been good the last several years, and Brett Thomas has done an awesome job there. And we came out of there with a victory, kind of not really knowing how we should feel about that at the time, because it was a close game. And then now, obviously, in retrospect, it was a great win. It was a great road win. And then into our district, we really thought Wyandotte could pull one off in Valiant, and they did. Salina is super talented. The Hooker kid is one of the best over in this side of the state. Great skill kid. They're good up front. They've got the pieces to do some damage. They're going to Davis next week, so that's obviously going to be a little challenge for them. We feel like this district is definitely up, pretty competitive. So we feel pretty prepared for the playoffs for sure.
Holdenville is going to bring a wing tee to town. So do you guys have to do anything special to prepare for that?
Yeah, if you could box up a really good wing tee team and send us to it this week to practice against, that would be fantastic. Because obviously the look that you get in practice is never close to what the execution of it is on Friday night. So, they're good. Obviously we've seen film on them, just you're not looking ahead, but just preparing for what ifs. And they're great. That was a 3-way tie down there in that district for first place between Dibble, Davis, and Holdenville. Came down to points. So that was a toss up down there, and they all play very similar style of football. Besides obviously the flex bone in Davis, but it's a fist fight in a phone booth. They're really good at it. They're very efficient. It's hard to match up with those guys down the road in playoff games because you just don't see it all year, But they're good at what they do. But I think we've got a great staff, experienced staff, seen a lot of this type of stuff before, and our kids will respond. Hopefully they'll be have a good week of practice.
You guys have the reigning Skordle player of the week. Is that right? Is that right, Adam?
That's correct. Yeah. I got Taylor helped me get some of those stats for him. But I've been following him all year. I just asked out of curiosity what his season stats were, and it blew my mind because I I mean, I'm fairly certain hadn't completed hardly how many full games has he played all year? And right, you guys had one game get canceled too, right?
Yeah, we only played 9 season games because Chelsea, had that tragedy go on, and we didn't play the game that week. So, all those stats are in 9 games, and then I would say with respect to who we played, Cooper played a lot of half games. So, and then did the same thing tonight. I mean, he didn't play second half, so came out and did his thing first half. Great side on both sides of the ball. Got a ton of weapons around him. He's a great kid. Such a hard worker. I love the chemistry between him and Coach Brady. He's a young coach, and Cooper responds so well to his offense, and so he's had a tremendous year.
Hey, Taylor, thanks for your time, man. Congratulations on a big win tonight. We look forward to that game next week. I think this is your game is one of the best 2 or 3 games we'll have in the state.
Yeah, appreciate it, Mark. Thanks, Adam. Good to hear from you.
You bet.
See you guys.
All right, who is next?
We got 2 familiar faces in queue. How about Jeff Craig and Coach Ballard?
Oh,
we got to let Jeff go first though, because he jumped in first. So we're gonna he's gonna have to he's unmuted, so we're gonna add him in now. So Coach Craig's here.
One of the few times I get to beat Brad.
Are those the Northern Lights behind you?
I don't know what hey, just be glad you can see me. I don't know what the background situation is on this, but I feel like I should be like in Florida or somewhere on the beach.
It's fancy. Yeah, it looks like you're in the Caesars Palace Mall.
Yeah.
What a game tonight. This was close all the way. You guys go to overtime, and you're on quite a winning streak now.
Yeah, seven in a row after a 0-4 start. So, can't be more proud of our guys, the way they've responded. We could have really pitched it in, after that 4th loss, and they stayed the course, and things turned around, and things are going a lot better way. And we lost 2 of our best guys before the game, and so we had to come in this shorthanded. So 2 of our best offensive weapons were out. So just, proud of the way our guys responded and hung in there and found a way to come out with a W.
I know you guys play those teams from 4A District 4. They're all really, really good this year, Jeff. And I know with your first year on the job, it might take a while to get things going in your system and how you want things to go. But what's been the difference in this run for you guys and improvement?
Well, I think – it kind of takes a while to get used to what we're doing offensively and defensively, because there's some details that you really got to pay attention to. And, getting the opportunity to see that on film several times and just talking about, guys, we have got to fix that. We've got to get to a certain spot. We've got to be in the right place. We've got to make the right read. Just a lot of things that go into it. And once they were able to see us have success, we were able to continue to push on those things. And they, I think everybody kind of got on the same page eventually. And so since then, we went with one. We had 2 quarterbacks early. We went with one and utilized the other in a lot of different capacities. And then, then Jackson broke his hand, and so he was really out of the mix for a while. And Brody Parker came in, and we made him full-time quarterback. And from that point on, we just rolled.
Yeah, you guys had a tight one. I know went to overtime with Durant, but Parker, I think, threw for 3, ran for another one last week. So you got to be happy with the way that he's playing.
Yeah, he's playing really, really well. And, he's a sophomore. He's going to make mistakes. And, we had some interceptions tonight. Really unfortunate for him. I mean, we threw 4, but 2 of them, bounced off our face. So, no fault of his. That's, as a quarterback, you're like, God dang, dude, I got 2 picks on my record because you took one in the face. So it was tough in that regard. But, for him, which was really good, I'm really proud of him. He didn't get down. He stayed the course and hung in there, and we just somehow found a way to win.
Now, Carl Albert, since you were a former coach there, they're just going to let you guys roll into town and hand you guys a victory?
Yeah, it'd be nice of them, wouldn't it? I mean, they've only got 50 in a row. So, how about share the wealth a little bit? Spread it around with the former, I got some former Titan blood in me. So, if you was going to lose to somebody, it would be best just to lose to me.
Did you take a peek at them on film?
I didn't want to get there yet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're not going to climb that mountain until we have to, and so we'll get on it. We'll get on it this week and see what we can figure out.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate the time, man.
Coach, thanks for coming on.
Man. Adam, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. See you guys.
Thanks.
What a win. 1 point win. That's like, again, 2 overtime games in 3 weeks for McAllister. And I think the one in Durant was double. So I guess we'll just send him a care package with some antacid or something like that to get over.
They had a tough start. We talked about this, Mark. They had a tough start to the season. Their schedule was brutal coming out of the gate. And like you said, too, you're adding a new system in, getting familiar with a different coach. But Coach Craig does like he always does. And, he's got his team rolling at the right time of the year, 7 straight wins. And, they're moving in the right direction. So
no overtime in Tuttle tonight. 51-6, the Tigers over Clinton. Hey, Brad.
What's up, guys? How are y'all tonight?
What's going on, man? You're in your palace out there.
Yeah, you caught me on the way out the door. I'm in the weight room, and I'm definitely not lifting. That's for dang sure. Sorry. We gave up a long kickoff return to start the game. Tackled them inside the 5. They score on the next play, and we score 51 unanswered. So, just the story stat-wise is probably Cruz Campbell. Cruz was 14 of 18 for 365 and 6 touchdowns tonight.
Ooh, that's awesome.
That's a career night, man.
Did you even worry about the appeal for Clinton? I mean, it probably didn't necessarily matter to you guys too much of who was coming to town, but I thought that was interesting that that kind of hung in the balance there. Did you feel pretty comfortable that you knew, hey, we're going to play Clinton after last Friday?
I think so, Mark. Saturday was a joke, to say the least. It was a circus. We had traded films with Coach Maynard in Elk City, and then started getting phone calls from Trinity Johnson at the OSSAA. And, at about noon, I was like, listen, we don't care who we play, whatever. We'll see 7 o'clock Friday. And then, I don't know. I felt like since they self-reported that an appeal was probably a long shot, I didn't know that you self-report something that an appeal would work. So, we just tried to work on us. That we can only be who we are at this point anyway. So, it was a good week. Kids did a great job. A little bit of distraction, but not a lot.
Yeah. Are you guys pretty healthy right now?
Yes, we're getting there. We got a couple hurt early, and we're starting to get some people back and playing for us. And we're, for being week 12 now, we are very healthy.
You got Grove this week. Can you tell me what you know about the Ridge Runners?
I know my mom graduated from Grove, and I knew the fight song when I was little. So, it's a lot of fun. I got some friends that coach there, and my dad still lives there. Played against them when I was in school. So I know they've got a big quarterback, and he's a power runner. I know they're going to play good defense and be physical. So, at this point, you guys know this. Anything could happen any night, and we really don't care right now. We're excited to play football. We're grateful to have another week, and we're ready to get to it.
Your high school won tonight. A little 4 versus 1 action for the Zebras.
Oh, the Zebras won. I didn't know that. Who did the Zebras beat tonight?
They beat Coweta, district champ.
Oh, that's a good one. Good for them. Congratulations to Coach Hurt and his crew. That's awesome.
You have a pick on the OU Alabama game tomorrow.
Oh, good Lord, Mark. Is there a spread?
6.5.
6.5. Wow. I'm just going to say Boomer because I love this state, man.
Do you want to pick the OSU Kansas State game?
I don't love this state that much. I hate it, man, but I just feel bad for it all. I feel really bad for those guys that are seniors right now, and just it is what college football is right now. It's just tough, man. I feel bad for some of that stuff, but I know those guys will play hard. I know Oklahoma State's continued to play hard and try hard, and I feel bad for them. I would probably pick since we do have an Okie calling plays for Kansas State, and Sallisaw Black Diamond Matt Wells. I can pull for that, and the purple. You know, I still got a little purple in me, Mark. So
I hear you. Yeah, back to hominy days.
that's right, brother.
Thanks for staying around, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend.
You bet.
Thank
Good
you.
to talk to you.
Mhm.
Tuttle wins it big, 51-6, 51 unanswered points there. They will host Grove on their side of the bracket, as we just saw there. It will be on the other side, Weatherford and Broken Bow. Braden Howell, one of the top players in Oklahoma, junior quarterback for the Savages.
We just had a run of guests, Mark. That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
I didn't know this is the first time we've done this, and I didn't know how many people would say yes and that they wanted to hop on. So, in fact, we had a few that wanted to join us, but they were driving, and we don't promote texting and driving or being on your video while you're driving. So,
Yeah, no, we're all about safety here, right?
yeah, for sure. Well, do you want to maybe go through here and kind of walk through every class and just give kind of like a final wrap, and then
yeah, let's do it.
Everybody luck next week.
Yeah, I'll just go down the bracket here in each of the classes, and then we can wrap it up. So, we will have Union at Bixby next week in Class 6A Division 1. Mustang will travel to Broken Arrow. Yukon goes to Owasso, and Edmond goes to Jenks. So again, we mentioned that series history between Bixby and Union. They just have not played that many times, and so it'll be interesting to see those two superpowers collide. Certainly, Bixby will be the favorite in that one. Stillwater and Southmore in Class 6A Division 2. Choctaw and Sapulpa. Sand Springs and Bartlesville and Putnam City at Muskogee. I like Putnam City and Muskogee as the best game in that group. PC is having a great year this year, so they will welcome the Roughers coming to Putnam City Stadium. A lot of drama. We talked about it. The opening round games in Class 5A, I think, were the most competitive tonight. Del City will travel to Lawton MacArthur next week after pulling off a 3-point win over Booker T. Washington. McGinnis survives at Guthrie. They are 10-1 on the season. They go to Claremore with the upset of Coweta, the district champion. McAllister will go back to Carl Albert. Tough task for Jeff Craig and the Buffaloes with that 7-game winning streak. That's a combined 57 games of winning streak there between McAllister with 7 and Carl Albert with 50. And then Newcastle and Pryor, that game was played a year ago in the playoffs in the same round, and Newcastle won over Pryor 37-36. So I'm sure the Tigers are looking for a little revenge there. Class 4A, Ada travels to Elgin. Ardmore will go to Cushing. Grove will go to Tuttle, and Weatherford will go to Broken Bow. So all 4 of the district champions survive in that class. In Class 3A, Inola takes on Heritage Hall. First playoff win for Inola, I believe, in over 40 years. So that's a big accomplishment for the Longhorns tonight. Kingfisher,
Mark, the Longhorns.
The Longhorns.
Another Longhorn.
The Longhorns and the Chargers next week. Kingfisher will go to Lincoln Christian. Perkins will go to Cascia, and Holland Hall will travel to Sulphur. Class 2A, Division 1. This is another bracket that we've talked about. All of these teams have been really, really good. Jones goes to Sequoia Tahlequah. Marlowe goes to Kingston. OCS will go to Metro, and Kiefer will go to Washington. Sequoia goes to Jones. So undefeated Jones, Kingston with 1 loss. Metro undefeated, OCS with 1 loss, Washington with 1 loss, and Kiefer, I believe, with 1 loss. So that's
let's stop in that class for a minute, because I mean, we've seen Marlowe this year, we've seen Chandler, which obviously Chandler got beat by Kiefer. We saw Kiefer last year. We had OCS earlier on in a game this year, which we are going to have one more guest coach to finish this out for us. By the way, Tanner Roof from OCS said he's going to hop on and join us.
Sure.
Obviously, Washington, Kingston, we saw them early in the year against Fairview. 2A1 is going to be a lot of fun down the stretch.
No, no doubt it will be. This week's games, I think, are going to be fantastic in all of those. Do you want me to keep on going here and while we get Tanner?
Yep. While we wait on him, he's not on just yet.
All right, 2A Class 2A Division 2 has Wyandotte at Stroud. Holdenville goes to Adair, Dibble at Vian, and Salina at Davis. So Class A, the Class District 3 gets 3 wins there, and that district stays alive. It's been a heck of a season for them. Class A, Division 1, Pecola travels to Fairview. Minko goes to Tonkawa. Pahuska will go to Wynnewood, and Hooker will go to Rejoice. Some really good games there. Longest trip next week, at least what I've seen so far. Fairland goes to Mangum. No short drive either from Healdton to Tallahena. Thomas will travel to Hominy, and Allen will go to Southwest Covenant. Congratulations to Southwest Covenant on getting the upset. The 4 seed knocks off the number 1 seed Kanawha there. Class B, Division 1, Laverne and Caddo and Laverne, 332 miles there. Pond Creek Hunter will travel to Yale. Waurika with the upset tonight over OBA. They go to Dewar, and Drumright travels to Hollis and the southwest part of the state. Another class that classification that is going to be outstanding is B2. Coyle goes to Sealing there. It will be Cyril traveling to Cherokee. Walika, did you see Wacomas over Weber's Falls tonight? Is that correct?
Yeah. Wacomas is a good team. They had some injuries, and they took took one on kind of a tough loss to Okeen, and I think just temporarily lost a little bit of confidence. But they're a team in the playoffs I would not want to play. They're big and physical, got a good running back, got a good quarterback, got a good offensive line, a lot of seniors. So that game did not surprise me.
And then the final game in Class B Division 2 will be a good one. It will be Okeen traveling to Wilson of Henrietta.
Yeah, that's a repeat of last year. I don't know if you remember that when Okeen was stopped at the 1 yard line by Wilson. I think maybe twice. So that's how Wilson ended up beating Okeen last year. So that'll be a rematch of that game. And we've talked about it. I mean, we keep talking about all these classes. There's so many, but I feel like B2, man, there are some really good teams, with Sealing and Okeen and Walika, and I'm going to forget somebody, but there's some good teams at the top of 2A or of A2, or sorry, B2.
Hey, we may have probably neglected a little bit the Class C bracket tonight in terms of some very good games. I mean, there was a lot of competitive games in this class. Gary gave Timberlake all they wanted tonight, but the Tigers do advance. Timberlake will host Maud next week. Medford wins, and Medford gets, Mountain View. They beat Balco Forgan tonight 56-6. So Medford will host Mountain View. That's a really good matchup. In the Class C bracket. On the other side of things, Tipton went to Tyrone to get a win, and so they will go back on the road this week. Tipton will have to make another long trip to Sasakwa, who beat South Coffeyville. Oaks with a win over Maysville, and they will get Ryan, last year's runner-up in Class C. So Ryan with a big win tonight. They knocked off Sharon Mutual 50-16.
Well, looks like Coach Roof is ready. You want to bring him in to finish the show out?
Let's do it. Coach Roof, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? How you guys doing?
Hey, you get the nomination for shot of the night, man. That's a pretty picture right there. You guys at the stadium.
Well, I had to get out of the coach's office. They're all pretty loud in there watching film, so the lights are still on, so I just snuck out.
Tell us about the game tonight.
Man, it was first half. It was a just tough, hard fought game. Lindsay came in really prepared, well coached, and really physical. And we struggled to get in a rhythm. And then when she got a score really late in with about a minute something left in the first half, gave us some momentum. And then second half, we were really fortunate, went down and scored, and then intercepted one. Got another touchdown, kicked an onside, and then threw a shot, and probably scored about 28 points in about 4 or 5 minutes, and just kind of rolled from there. But I was impressed with Lindsay and just how well they're prepared.
Who's playing well for you guys?
really defensively, I mean, they've been pretty consistent all year long. And offensively, Hudson Abel's had a really strong year. They kind of took him out of the game tonight with double coverage everywhere he went. So Creighton Allen had a really good night. But really skill-wise, I feel like with our personnel, we've got some guys that we can bring in to run the ball, and then we can spread out. But Atticus Sage has been solid. Eli,
I love that kid.
Yeah,
saw him against Chisholm. That kid is a stud.
Man, he is. He's just a yes, sir. Do whatever you ask, and so we used him, blocking, and then he kind of iced it a little bit late in the game with a long touchdown run. And so then another one that goes both ways, James Huffmeyer, he had a big touchdown pass when we kind of started separating. So,
hey, I mean, it's every year, but this is another year where the district is tough. I mean, anytime that Millwood doesn't go to the playoffs, I mean, you've had to earn it in a pretty tough district. So, the exhibitions are over. I mean, the 8 that are left in this class are all really good teams. So, do you feel like you're prepared to go to Metro next week and take them on?
Not right now, but hopefully come Friday we will be. But no, I feel like this group, it's one of those things we talked about at the beginning of the year is, just get a little bit better each week. And we don't want to peak at, week 7 or 8. We want to just keep chipping away. And, you're right, our district, playing Chisholm was a physical game for a half. And then, same thing with Millwood, very athletic. And then, Jones and then Mount St. Mary's, they had a good ball club. And so I do feel like compared to my first year, it definitely did, get us a little bit more battle tested, going to the playoffs. So, but I'm excited about this group. They've got, a mentality to go 1-0 and really haven't looked past anybody this year. And so it's exciting, just blessed with a really good senior class.
Awesome. Congrats, Tanner.
Hey, Tanner, did you see your brother got the dub?
Man, it was crazy. We were walking up, and one of our assistant coaches had it on film, and I saw right when I looked over there, they threw a shot down there to about the 2 and then punched it in. Yep. So I'm happy for him.
You want to schedule them next year?
To be honest with you, we did. We scrimmaged them. That was our only scrimmage, and it was a lot of fun. So, but we'll see. I don't know. We graduate quite a bit, so we're going to have to get after this off season. So I'll let you know in the fall.
Okay. Good stuff. Hey, congrats on the win.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Thanks again.
Thanks, Tanner.
Hey.
I was going to see if we might wait for Ryan Stringer here momentarily.
He's in queue.
Sweet.
I don't see his picture yet.
Okay.
Wait, I do now. You want me to go ahead and bring him in?
Yes, let's bring him in.
All right, here he is.
Are you on the bus?
Yeah, we're on the bus.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And back.
Tell us about this game tonight. It was back and forth, and we knew that this was going to be an incredible matchup. Guthrie has just played really good football.
Yeah.
And you guys are odd man out on that 3-way tie and only losing one game in the final week of the regular season. But you guys go up there and pull out a classic.
Yeah, no, we feel good about it. I mean, obviously didn't want to lose last week, but felt like we learned a lot of things about us, found some weaknesses, and we had a tough week of practice, and the guys responded really well. And, we knew Guthrie played them forever in the district, so we knew, the physicality, the intensity, we had to be at all-time high. And our guys, they believed in themselves, and just played out of their minds for sure.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, going back, you're on an incredible winning streak at McGinnis in terms of first-round playoff victories. And so that was one of the things I looked at is it just that's a program that's used to winning games in the playoffs this time of the season. So did you all have confidence in the fact that this is just what we do? I mean, it's this time of the year that we're going to win.
Yeah, 100%. I meid I told my wife today, I was like, we've never, I've been here a little over a decade now as an assistant. And then, I told her, I was like, we've never lost in the first round. And, we've been on the road multiple times. It's just the confidence that our guys have. And for some weird reason, we play really well on the road, which is a good thing, I guess.
Hey, yeah, no, that's definitely a good thing. Tell us some of the guys that are making plays for you guys right now.
Yeah, so tonight, Junior Harris at quarterback, he filled in. our starter Gage Chance went down last week, finished the game, but ended up having a pretty significant ankle injury, and so we lost him, and so he filled in and it started at corner for us all year and played really, really well. Scored multiple times on the ground. The running game got going really well. The offensive line, and then defensively, like Marcellus Tyner and Malachi Darby, sophomores, were flying around all night.
Yeah, it's 11 straight wins in the first round of the playoffs. So that's a heck of a streak. You guys are going to get Claremore. I mean, I know you guys have played Coweta a few times in the last couple of years, and I don't think it matters to where you go. I mean, to either of those places. So looking forward to getting the Zebras. Do you know anything about Claremore?
No, nothing about them besides they played in the semifinals a couple years ago. A couple hours before us, and we watched a little bit of that. That's about all I know about Claremore. So excited to learn about them, and they got a nice facility and obviously a good football team. So excited for the opportunity.
A couple of offensive linemen on your team are friends of mine. Sam Randolph, I believe his grandfather, Dr. John Randolph, one of the great people in the state of Oklahoma, and then Sandy Brazil, her son, also on the offensive line there. So those guys up front must be playing pretty good football for you too. Yeah,
no, they played well. We went on our last drive was 7.5 minutes, and we just kind of we threw it a little bit, but that's true. The Newcastle game we had an 8-minute drive, and so 2 out of the last 3 games, the offensive line kind of helped put things away for us, and so which is what you want at this time of the year.
Ryan, thanks for your time, man. Appreciate you hopping on short notice.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Ryan Stringer, head coach at Bishop McGinnis in his 2nd year. Adam, that was fun, man.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I appreciate it, Mark. Thanks for always being receptive to my crazy ideas.
I don't think this is a crazy idea. I think this is a good idea. We might want to try to do it again next week. So that'd be fun. Maybe we can keep this going. And I love the playoffs this time of year is great. So thanks to everybody that tuned in tonight. Thanks to everybody that joined the show, especially. And then also thanks to all the people in the chat. We read all those chats, and we can continue to do that hopefully next week and continue to have some more guests on the show. So Adam, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody, tonight to tune into the Friday Night Recap Show.
Thanks, everyone.
Brahms is bringing the heat. Introducing Brahms' new spicy chicken sandwiches. Flavor this good just can't be beat. Brahms' crispy, tender, spicy chicken delivers just enough kick to ramp up our original recipe. Get it regular or club style with crispy bacon and American cheese. Add on Brahms sauce for that extra burst of heat, and you have spicy chicken sandwich perfection. Because nothing is better than Brahms.